For 11 years, I was the one who called first. Every Sunday morning, every birthday, every holiday that came and went. I was the one who picked up the phone, dialed the number, and waited. I told myself that was just what mothers do. I told myself it did not bother me. It bothered me. There is something that happens inside a woman when she realizes, slowly and then all at once, that the relationship she has been carrying on her own is not a relationship at all. It is a performance, a one-sided performance she has been giving to an empty theater, convincing herself the seats were full. Most of us never say this out loud, not to our friends, not to our sisters, not even to ourselves, not really. Because saying it out loud would mean admitting something we are not ready to admit. That the children we gave everything to have quietly, without meaning to, stopped reaching back. By the time this is over, you may understand something about your own life that you have been circling around for a very long time. What I am about to tell you is the part of this story I kept to myself the longest, because it is the part that changed everything. I want to tell you about the Sunday I did not call. It was not a dramatic decision. I did not sit down and make a plan. I simply woke up that morning, looked at the phone on the nightstand, and thought, not today. I put the phone face down, and I made myself a cup of tea, and I sat by the window, and I watched the birds at the feeder for 40 minutes without moving. It was the longest 40 minutes I had experienced in years. And when it was over, something had shifted. I had spent 11 years beginning every Sunday with an act of reaching. Reaching toward people who loved me, I do not doubt that, but who had stopped reaching back in the daily, ordinary, unremarkable ways that love is supposed to show itself. And on that particular Sunday, for the first time in 11 years, I did not reach. The silence that followed was not peaceful, not at first. It was uncomfortable in a way I did not expect. Because when you have made yourself responsible for holding something together, stopping feels like letting it fall. And nobody wants to be the one who let it fall. But here is what I learned that morning. Some things do not fall when you stop holding them. Some things simply reveal what they were all along. The waiting was the hardest part. I had stopped calling first, but now I had to sit with what that decision meant. Every day that passed without a call from my daughter felt like a stone dropping into still water. Every day that passed without a message from my son felt like confirmation of something I had been refusing to see. I want to be honest with you about what that feels like. It feels like grief. It feels like standing in a room you have lived in your whole life and suddenly noticing that the walls are much further away than you thought, and the room is much emptier, and you are much more alone than you believed yourself to be. There is a particular loneliness that belongs only to parents of grown children. The world does not have a name for it. You are not supposed to feel it because you are supposed to be proud and grateful and fulfilled. Your children are alive. They are healthy. They have their own lives. What right do you have to ache? Every right. You have every right, and no one telling you otherwise changes what is true inside your own chest at 2 in the morning. What I did not expect was what the silence would teach me about myself. When I stopped calling first, I stopped abandoning myself first. That is the connection I did not see coming. For 11 years, every Sunday morning call had begun with me setting my own needs to one side, arranging my voice into something cheerful, asking questions about their lives, and carefully, automatically, steering away from anything honest about mine. I had become a person who performed wellness for her children's comfort. I did not know that until I stopped. When the calls finally did come, and they did come, slower than I would have liked, and fewer than I had hoped, something was different. I was different. I was not performing. I was not arranging my voice. I said things I had not said before. I asked for things I had never thought to ask for. I told my daughter, quietly, that I had missed her in a way that had been hard to carry. I told my son that I needed him to check in more, not because I was not managing, but because I loved him and I wanted him in my life. Those conversations were uncomfortable. They were also the most honest conversations we had shared in years. Here is what I want you to understand. Loving your children and losing yourself inside that love are two things that can happen at the same time. They are not opposites. They are not mutually exclusive. You can love deeply and still disappear. You can give everything and still end up with nothing left that belongs to you. Stopping the calls was not cruelty. Stopping the calls was not a punishment, not a manipulation, not a test. It was simply the first honest thing I had done in 11 years. It was the first time I had told the truth about what I needed by refusing to pretend I did not need it. I am not telling you to stop calling your children. I am telling you something harder than that. I am telling you to notice. Notice who reaches and who receives. Notice who initiates and who waits. Notice whether the love you are giving is finding its way back to you in any form at all, or whether it is simply leaving your hands and disappearing into a silence you have been decorating with excuses for far too long. If you are carrying this right now, I want you to know that I see you. I see the Sunday mornings. I see the phone you pick up before you even finish your first cup of coffee. I see the cheerful voice you put on, the questions you ask, the careful way you avoid saying anything that might make them feel guilty or worried or burdened. I see how tired you are of carrying this quietly. You have not been wrong to love them the way you have loved them. You have not been wrong to give what you gave. But you are allowed, after everything, to ask what is being given back. You are allowed to need something in return. You are allowed to stop reaching first and see what happens when you do. What changed when I stopped calling first was not my relationship with my children. That changed too, eventually, and in ways I did not expect. But what changed first was my relationship with myself. I remembered that I was a person, not just a mother, not just a function, a person with needs of her own and a life of her own and a Sunday morning that belonged, at least in part, to her. That is not a small thing. After 11 years, that was everything. I spent so many Sunday mornings waiting for a version of my children that existed more fully in my memory than in my phone. I loved that version. I still do, and I have made a kind of peace with the distance between who I hoped they would be and who they actually are, which is to say, human beings with their own pressures and their own failures and their own love that does not always know how to find its way home. I hope you can make that peace too, not all at once, not easily, but slowly, the way all real peace arrives. You may have come here this morning still holding the phone, still deciding whether to dial, still talking yourself into one more Sunday of reaching first. I hope something in what I have shared today makes you set the phone down, just for a little while, just long enough to remember that your morning belongs to you, too. Before I go, there is something I want to say clearly. Everything I have shared in this video comes from personal experience and personal reflection only. It is not medical advice. It is not financial guidance. It is not legal or psychological counsel of any kind. I am not a doctor, a therapist, a financial advisor, or a legal professional. I am simply someone who has lived through something real and chosen to speak honestly about what that felt like. If you are facing serious challenges in any of these areas, please reach out to a qualified professional who can help you directly and personally. The stories and reflections shared on this channel are meant only to offer comfort, honest perspective, and a sense that you are not carrying this alone. Take whatever feels true to you. Leave anything that does not. Thank you, from the bottom of my heart, for being here with me today. If this felt like someone finally said aloud the thing you have been carrying alone every Sunday morning, that is exactly what this channel is here for. There are more honest conversations like this one coming. I would love for you to be part of them. Simply press subscribe below.